Ali Smith. I'm an interim head football coach here at Gadsden City.
All right, Coach, you were at the old Emma Sansom High School where you played under two legendary coaches, those being Buster Gross and George Baker. Both are in the Hall of Fame with multiple championships. Can you talk about your experiences there and how that's helped mold you into not only the coach but the man you are today?
I can say I don't have enough time to talk about Coach Baker nor Coach Gross. Both of them still very, very inspirational in my life to this day. Coach Gross, I still remember the first time meeting him. I was in like the 4th, 5th grade, and I thought I had met a superstar, a legend, which he is a superstar and a legend to me. And a lot of things I do pressure points with the kids. How he used to squeeze my neck, I do that to him to this day. Just things he installed, and to me, I still do it on the football field every day. And with Coach Baker, life lessons, motivational stuff, talking to the kids. And one of the biggest things I've taken from Coach Baker was always be where you're supposed to be and do what you're supposed to do. And I've been fortunate to meet college coaches, NFL coaches, NFL commissioner, and none of those people have stuck to me with the things that Coach Baker has about just doing the right thing. And that's one of the things he used to teach us every day before practice, ball games and all that. So, man, Coach Gross and Coach Baker, they mean the world to me.
Awesome. When the three schools merged, those being Gadsden High, Emma Sansom, and Litchfield, you came on as a linebackers coach in '06. Since then, you know, you've kept your head down, worked hard, helped mold these men into better, not only players, but people. Now you're going to be leading the Titans next season, into the spring and on to next season. Talk about what that means to you personally.
Hopefully everything works out and we keep it on that track. And but for me, being here for 13 years in my office right now, I still have one of the first bricks that Coach Billingsley and I found out on the field before the football field was even complete. So, you know, I keep that rock with us everywhere we go. And I say just that foundation, being here, seeing what we've been through the last 6 years, since Coach Billingsley left, it's been ups, it's been down. I just want to, hopefully I can bring some stability and surround our young men with some positive people around us to be complete as a staff.
Okay. Coach, you're married with 3 kids. Talk about what it's like for you when you get to go home, be away from coaching, and be dad for a little while. How special is that to you?
That's real special right now. Definitely when I got a 10-month-old and she's keeping us going. And the big thing is, man, my son, he is here with me at the high school, and it's really fun. My oldest daughter, you know, she's a lot older than they are, and I got in a little trouble a couple of weeks ago. We left her out, can't leave her out again. But she hadn't lived here, but she's back here now. But they anything that goes on here makes it complete about being a dad. You know, regardless of how bad it may have been. That right there put the light of where everything else needs to be.
Awesome. We recently had Coach Huff on, and he talked about the importance of the community getting behind the program in order to reaching that next level and bringing that championship here to Gadsden City. I'm pretty sure you probably feel the same way as he does. What steps do you think needs to be taken to make that happen?
The first thing I think for as a whole, I think that people in our community need to become more aware, get more involved, and see what's really going on. You know, secondhand information is one thing, but come out and find out what's really going on and see what people are really doing for our kids. If we as a community need to be more involved for our kids. You know, when you come into the city of Gadsden, on each end, it says City of Champions. And when you say City of Champions, you're not just talking about champions in the game of football, basketball, baseball, sports. For say, I'm thinking as City of Champions as people. So as people, you know, we got a city of 30,000, if not more. You know, we need to come, and there's never a time where our stadium shouldn't be packed in football. There's never a time our dang on basketball gym shouldn't be packed. There's never a time our baseball field, our track, you know. Come, you know, our band whenever they travel and things like that. For me, I think we got to get out here and we got to support our kids. It ain't about the adults, and it per se, to me, it's about these kids, and we as the city of champions. That's what we say when you drive in any part, when you get to Gadsden, and say, welcome to Gadsden, city of champions. As people, we got to get together and support our kids in the right way, and let's do what's right by our children, regardless of anything else. And that's what it's about. And when we come together as one in that way, we'll be hard to beat in any aspect. We will be.
I agree 100%. We've noticed you've already went and met with the middle schools around here and started a relationship with those kids and a vision of what you expect out of players and things like that. Can you talk about how important that is moving forward for a program in general?
My biggest thing, I wanted our kids at all 3 middle schools, from 6th grade to 8th grade, to know how important they are. They are our future. The way they go is the way Gadsden City will go. If we can keep all our kids at all 3 middle schools together from 6th through 12th grade, that's a big deal. We can't let anybody come in and take one and pull one out. We got to keep them all together, and we need to let them know they all important. If it's 1 to 99, they all important, and we need them in our program, and we want them in our program in some type of way. We want them in our school. We want them in our school system, and that's why I wanted to go, because I really feel that Gadsden could be a very, very special place, and it is a special place.
Awesome. We've had some unbelievable players come through here, names such as Alonzo Harris and Dre Kirkpatrick, who's played here recently, that's made it all the way up to the NFL. How important do you think that is to the kids that's going to school here now and will be coming here to know that a foundation like this can actually springboard you to the NFL?
I'll tell you, try to tell our kids, and I shared this with our middle school kids, and I tell this to our varsity kids every day. That's awesome. Dre and Alonzo, I have a very, very special relationship with both of them parents. And, in a sense, that's like hitting the lottery. And what we want to do is establish our kids and let them know that anything's possible. However, we want to have programs in place to let our kids know everybody's not going to the NFL, everybody's not going to college to play football. But however, we have something for you to do when you're done playing. We, Gadsden City football, we have guys that's gone on to be successful in the military, going on to just be successful in the workforce. We got a lot of kids to be proud of. Now, obviously, everybody knows, identify Dre and Alonzo because of their athletic success, and we're proud of them. And I tell you, Dre is, I have to say, he's no different than the rest of them, but he has a different place in my heart just because of the things that we know we started when he was in the 6th, 7th grade.
That's awesome. Tell us about the upcoming spring. How important is that moving forward, ultimately into the off season and then over into fall?
Well, a big thing for us this spring is what we're doing, and we're going now this week. We started on Monday into our spring workout. We've been in our winter workout for the last 8 weeks. We were in our winter workouts. We tested last week. So this week we started our spring, what we call 7-week spring program. And for us, we want to find out the mental toughness of our guys. Our spring basically started back in the winter in the weight room. We want to challenge them every single day in the weight room. Then now we're transitioning 2 days a week to conditioning on the field. We want to challenge our kids. Then we want to see in the third phase, how do it transition out onto the field? And so hopefully what we've done so far will lead to a very good spring to see who can play and where they can play at to help us to be successful going into the fall.
Awesome. Would you mind telling us about your personal expectations next season for the Titans, not from a wins and loss standpoint, but what you expect from each player on and off the field?
I expect one thing, for each one of our players to compete at the highest level. And I tell every one of our kids, everybody has a role and they just need to do it. Just do your job every single day. And so what I want, it don't matter if you feel like you're going to get 50 reps or you're going to get 1 rep. Whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability and just do your job. And I think if we do that, everything else will fall into place.
Awesome. What's your getaway, Coach? What's a hobby that we're going to find Ollie Smith doing away from the football field?
I tell you this, I love sports, but I tell you, I do like to get away. I like to travel. I like to Matter of fact, get in the car or get on the plane and just go get out the city for a little bit and get away. That's a hobby. But if you want to just see me around, the hobby, you may catch me in the gyms with the little ones or something when I'm around. But the hobby for me is to get away and relax and travel a little bit.
Who is the greatest influence in your life? Someone that impacted you in a positive way coming up? Who would that be? I know you spoke of Baker already.
Coach Baker, and then, you know, a lot of people look at it, but I have to say my dad is one of the big things. My dad qualified for the Olympic trials back with Wilma Rudolph, Ralph Boston, and all those guys, and he and my uncle, those guys, and my granddad, man, they put a lot of pressure on us growing up, and they talked to us, and it was, you know, when I left the house, I felt like I was ready because they didn't sugarcoat it or anything like that. And again, I've met some very powerful men in this sporting industry. And at the end of the day, my dad and the things my granddad and my uncles had put to me, I felt like that was very, very important to me. So I would have to say that my dad has been, you know, as a man, you know, going forward, you know, that was. I would have to say, damn, you know, you just talking about a local guy growing up, just watching guys play and kind of talking to you growing up, you know, wanting to kind of be like, it was a guy named Tim Brown, and I think that he was probably one of the best, if not the best athlete to come through this county. And I think that Coach Doss, that was at May Jemison a couple years ago, had an article, I may be wrong, but I think he made the statement that 20 to 30 years later, Tim Brown was probably still one of the best athletes he had coached against.
That's saying something there.
Yes.
Who's a coach at the next level that you really admire and have a lot of respect for?
Well, I can say this, man, I don't want to start name dropping and doing one of those things, but I have a really good relationship with the people in Tuscaloosa, Coach Saban. We have a really, really good relationship with Jeremy Pruitt up in Tennessee, Coach Strong down in South Florida, don't want Kirby Smart. Those guys have helped me when I first started out. Brick Haley, those guys. We could pick up the phone and call, and they help us with things. Coach Chavis, John Chavis, and you know, Coach Sweeney, Dabo Sweeney. You know, we were knowing Dabo and being around Coach Sweeney when he was the only guy coming in, and everybody else was flying in with their whole staff to recruit our guys, and he would be like, hey, all I need is one bullet, baby. So, you know, and we still have a very good relationship with those guys over there, and if we want to go over in clinic and talk to them, that's been, you know, that's always an option. So, but I have to say that we probably just watching Coach Saban and a lot of things he's done, you know, that's been real big for us, and he and Coach Bobby Williams that was over there with those guys. And again, like I said, I don't want to name drop or things like that, but those guys have really been helpful for us. When I say us, for our whole staff over the years here.
Tell us something about Coach Smith that's unique that the general people that not around you every day wouldn't know that you do or enjoy.
Well, you know, I like to sing to myself, but you know, I'm not a very good singer, but I do like to do that a little bit. So, you know, when the guys come in sometime, I like to sing a little bit, and then I throw a rap in there every now and then. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, finally, Coach, you've had some great seasons here at Gadsden City. In your opinion, what needs to happen to put those seasons together and build an elite program here where you win year in and year out, don't matter if the names change, who graduates or whatever?
A little hard work, keeping all our kids here from 6th through 12th grade. Having a good community foundation, having people involved to help, because at the end of the day, a lot of people will associate this with a certain person that wrote a book. It takes a village, but it's an old African proverb. It takes a village to raise a child, and our village is Gadsden, the city of Gadsden. And if we keep all ours in this city, in this village, we'll be fine. Well, you know, a lot of people seem to think that Gadsden City, well, they consolidated 3 schools, 3 high schools. Well, we consolidated 3 high schools in 06. We 13 years in the making. Gadsden City could be real special. But at the end of the day, we got to realize we are bringing in 3 middle schools. Those guys got to be prepared. Then we have to prepare them in 9th grade, and then we have to be ready when we get on varsity. But at the end of the day, if we all come together in this community and be together, we'll be hard to deal with. And that's one thing that everybody, I think around the state, they realize that this is a special place and can be a special place.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Appreciate you, man.